Hello. Yeah. Okay. So, Dr. Sen, let's begin. Based on what you told me about the life journey, that is becoming better, right? It's becoming better. But is it this better? Is it stagnant? Is it this better? Where will you keep it? A, B, C, D.
Maybe C, but again, where is your, the starting point will be different from person to person, right? So where do you see yourself?
Let's say this is,
say 1 to
this is
0 to
100%.
Okay.
This is 60%. This is 25%, and this is 0%.
Okay. So I will say between C and D. Yeah.
Okay.
C and D.
Okay. So now the point is, I learned this lesson, it changed my life. I learned this lesson and it changed my life, that the laws of motion by Isaac Newton, they apply to human body. They apply to us. And I think we discussed that before as well, right? So body in motion tends to remain in motion, and body at rest tends to remain at rest. One of the biggest misconceptions we human beings have is that if my life in 2021 is exactly the same as it was last year, then I feel that, okay, I'm doing well. Same with any business. If it's making the same money every year consistently, people will think, okay, this is a consistent business and it is creating the same money. And the person says, my life was same in 2019. The problem is the body at rest tends to remain at rest, right? Body in motion tends to remain in motion, right? But the problem is nothing is at rest. Scientifically proven, nothing is at rest. Albert Einstein. Everything is in motion. So the biggest misconception we all have is that if I am at rest, I'm doing exactly the same way as I was last year, the year before, the year before, the year before, I will get the same results next year. Unfortunately, that's not the reality. The reality is either we are moving up or we are moving down. So if the life is exactly the same, if our income, our financial income, let's take financial income as an example, because we can measure it. Although there are different ways to measure success, health, family, relationships. I mean, I'm not denying that, but this is something we can calculate. So let's take an example of income. If the income is exactly the same as it was in 2019 and in 2020 and in 2021, if the income is same, that actually means you are not moving ahead, you are moving down. Either we are moving up or we are moving down. So if the income is not increasing consistently, that means we are going down. We should keep our focus on making sure that our income increases, our personality increases, our knowledge increases, everything in the life increases. When we focus on that, the whole life will change. And we have to focus on all aspects of life. If we ignore this financial aspect, that is going to hurt us badly. Many people say, okay, no, finance is not that important. No, finance is important. Money is important. The greed of money is bad, but money is not bad. Money is important for the food it buys, for the house it provides, for the shelter it provides, for the school fee of the kids it provides, for the electricity bill you can pay. So money is a very important aspect. And unfortunate reality is when you don't have money, your self-esteem goes down. When you see somebody else making more money than you, your self-esteem goes down. Your confidence level goes down. You feel bad about yourself. So focus on all aspects and eventually income will shoot up. And by the way, according to my experience, and also Earl Nightingale said that this is that part of life, the income, that will grow in the very end. When you grow spiritually, when you grow knowledge-wise, when you grow brain-wise, when you grow personality-wise, when you grow in all other aspects of life, health, relationship, spirituality, career, personal development, when you grow in all of these things, then money will follow. When you become successful, you become rich. People say that, oh, I'll become successful. Oh, I want money. No, money will come in the end. So if money is not increasing, probably the reason is that we haven't worked hard on our personal development. Because our income rarely exceeds our personal development, as Jim Rohn said. So if money is not increasing gradually every year, that means we are not growing personally. We are not doing personal development. We are not reading enough books. We are not taking enough courses. We are not spending time on thinking every day how to become better. We're not taking seminars, webinars. We are not meeting with people who are successful. The main thing is, who do we spend time with? Are we spending time with those people who are successful, who talk like this? The conversation that we are doing today. Do we spend time with those kind of people, or we spend time with those people who are talking about family politics, relationship politics, useless issues, useless conversations? Or we are spending time with people who are talking about personal development? If we spend our time all day long with those people who are talking about personal development, nobody on earth can stop us from becoming successful, because once you become successful, money will follow. This will be not of any importance later. The real thing matters is the personal development. You can throw the money away. It helps you measure your success, but to be very honest, it doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter in the end. What matters is the person you become. So now, what are you saying? You have so many questions coming up or comments. I need to hear your wise comments here as well.
Absolutely, doctor. Absolutely, doctor. A lot of things. What you just mentioned about personal development, and you mentioned your income is not growing 2019, 2021. It means there is no growth, and if you don't grow, you will perish.
Law of motion, because there's no rest.
If you don't grow, you will perish. Not, just what you said, a lot of things are coming to my mind. You will perish. So ultimately, another thing you just mentioned, personal development. So there will be, you just mentioned, there will be a rare occasion where your income is better than your personal development. And Jim Rohn said it. And if it is better, soon it will catch up.
Oh, yes. Like a wise man said, that if we distribute money equally, we take all the wealth in the world and we distribute it in every person's hand, and eventually it will come back to the same hands.
Same 2% or 5% of the people.
Why does that happen? Because money does not exceed personal development.
It doesn't, even if it, Jim Rohn said it, that if it develops, if it catches up, then soon it will catch up, personal development. Another thing, you mentioned about income, and it will show at the end. If you remember, I gave you the 2 books recently. I have those books here.
Thank you for the books.
Huh? 1 second.
For all the listeners, I got those amazing books from Dr. Sen. Okay.
The thing is that I have the books here with me, and I have 4 books. There are 4 books. 2 I've given you, and I brought because I want to show where I underlined it, and I brought. I'm reading them for the.
We'll discuss that. Yeah.
Huh? So those 2 books. The end is, your income will depend on whom you serve, how much you serve, to what extent you serve. All those things are there. So your income should not be focused right from the beginning. It should be more focused on how much you can give, how much you can grow, and the income will show up, if not today, then tomorrow. Okay. I fully agree with the self-esteem thing, because as I said, it's being recorded that I was a homeless person for some time. Don't erase it 1 second. Okay. Okay. I was a homeless person, and I think in Think and Grow Rich, it is said that your self-esteem is way down when you don't have money. Another thing, because my thoughts are just random. The importance of money. You said about child's education and fees and rent and utility bills. I think Earl Nightingale, I think he said, if I remember correctly, he said there are two you need money for two main functions. One is to make your life little comfortable, less challenging, less problem-free. And second is you need the money to fulfill all your heart's desires. Heart's desires. It may not be that you wish to start a foundation in your mother's name or something. Hearts and desires from the heart.
What I admire.
You need the money for that.
What I admire the most by Bob Proctor. He says, money doesn't make you happy.
See, doctor, money will make you happy for a short period of time. How many drinks can you have? How many beaches can you visit? After some time, money will not make you happy.
But you know what I like the most, what he said was, money does not make you happy because money was not meant to make you happy anyways. Money was meant to make you comfortable.
Comfortable. Okay.
That's all. Money was just to buy the needs, the food, the shelter, the education, those things.
And
so don't confuse. Happiness comes with two things. Gratitude. How grateful you are for whatever you have today. You will be happy, and eventually gratitude will increase your income. We'll talk about that. But the second thing is how healthy your relationships are with the people currently you are living with.
Doctor, I just missed something. You talked about people you are hanging out with, and there is that, I think Jim Rohn talks about the power. I gave a talk, power of associations. You are the average of 5 people or 7 people you hang out with.
5,
yeah, 5, some say 5, some say 7. And I was in India recently, and when I talk to people, they cannot think of that because they are mingling with people at their level or below their level. And I think Tony Robbins said that if you are mingling with the same people at your level from where you do not learn, you do not grow, then either you create your own group or find another group.
I like the statement. I don't know who said that, but the statement was, if you are the smartest person in your friends, you need new friends.
You need new friends. You need to, absolutely.
Because you're not learning anything.
No.
They will drag you down.
They will drag you. Tony Robbins gave a, sorry, doctor, I'm intervening. He talks about, he was giving a talk at some marine, those marine center, where the US Marines are trained and they live and all. And he was asked by that whoever is in charge that why, when these guys, they are at the peak of their performance and their physical ability and mental ability when they're in the Marines. But when they leave the Marines and go to become a civilian, there everything, all whatever they learned here, everything goes down. Why is it? And Tony Robbins replied that when they leave this center, this place of ultimate growth, ultimate achievement, and go to being a civilian, because they're with the civilians. And civilians don't want what you have done. They want, and these people, everybody wants to be loved and accepted. And for that ex-Marine, he wants to be loved and accepted. And he will only be loved and accepted when he comes down to the civilians level. Are you getting it? Am I clear?
Exactly.
So that's why they lose all their standards, whatever they've learned, because we all want to be loved and accepted. And that's why we have to go lower our levels. And he said, either you make your own group or find another.
Exactly. Beautiful, beautiful. Another example I remember of the lions. Lion. There was a video I saw, and this speaker gave an example of lions in a circus in India. He said there were some lions they trained in circus, and eventually when the lions were old enough, they got new lions, right? These old lions, they send them to the jungle. They said, okay, now they can spend their life in jungle and they will spend their lives, and we get new lions. So they got new lions. Old lions were sent to jungle. Eventually what happened, that they found out that these lions were killed by and eaten by dogs.
Because they are not used to that life, that jungle life.
Because they forgot to fight, they forgot to pray, they forgot to attack, they forgot what the lion actually is.
See, they got free food in the circus, right? All the time.
So they were killed by the dogs in jungle or hyenas in jungle. So this happens with all of us. When we spend time with below average people, we forget what we were,
what we are, how much we can do,
exactly.
How much we can be.
Exactly. We have unlimited power, and according to an estimate, each one of us is a billionaire, because the amount of energy our hydrogen atoms can produce goes down to trillions of dollars, not even billions, trillions of dollars, just hydrogen atom. I'm not talking about other atoms, other molecules, anything in the body. Just by hydrogen atoms, it is equal to trillions of dollars. So you can imagine how valuable each person is. At least we should reflect that kind of money in our life, or if not trillions, at least we should be comfortable with $1 million.
I think, Doctor, Earl Nightingale, I think he said that he's the first person whom I heard saying it, that I think we use maximum maybe less than 5% of our brain power. And he said that hydrogen atom, it can light up a city. We have enough that it can light up a city, enough power, in energy. He's the first person to talk about all this, I guess.
I think you're talking about lead the field.
In the leader field, he says all that.
Yeah.
In the leader field, and that.
So the point I'm making here is that it is so true. In fact, I did a study with people I know, that we were 5 people. I said, okay, don't check the finances. I'm not talking about finances. What I'm saying is just body weight. Take an average of body weight and see. And everyone came out to be around the same, 170, 160. All 5, 6 friends have the same body weight. Same thing reflects in the bank account. All people have exactly have the same amount of money in their bank accounts, more or less average. If you are the 5th person, your bank account will reflect the bank account of the 4 people. Just do an average. If everyone has $1,000 in their account, you will also have $1,000.
Sure.
And Bill Gates will never be friends with these people. Jeff Bezos will not sit with these people. That's why he is Jeff Bezos. He will spend time with Mark Cuban. He'll spend time with Bill Gates. Warren Buffett. Or the Tesla guy. The Tesla guy.
Yeah. I agree.
What's the name? What's the name? Tesla guy. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot remember. Anyways. So these guys, they are friends with each other, and these $1,000 saving guys will be friends with each other. So if you want to increase your standards, spend time with people who are better than you. And of course, somebody asked me, how can I spend time with people who are better than me? They will not accept me. Is that a logical reason? Is it a logical question or not? It's a very logical question. How can I spend time with people who are better than me? They are not going to accept me. So I would like to hear your answer. Yes, you have something to say. I'll give my answer.
That's a very valid thing you said. And I found that when I was in India recently, and people say, oh, all my friends are like this only. Thing is, first of all, you have to accept this fact. People are not ready to accept it, this thing, this issue. They don't want to believe it. They don't, because they have their own mindset. Second is, it's very right. They won't accept you. You have to give value to them, do some benefit to them, give value to them, which they recognize, and it will take time. Over a period of time, you will see that those are the people, they will now look out for you. They will help you. They will look out for you. They will like your company. They will like to. So it will not be overnight, and you just have to give and help them, support them, give them value.
Very,
I don't
very.
know. I'm not getting
I think
the right
your
words.
answer is. I think your answer is way beautiful and prettier than my answer.
Really?
Oh yes, my answer was, I gave the answer to this patient I had. I said, who is asking you to find a person who is he's on the top of the field? Just find a little better person and be friends with him. Then find another better person, then better, and then gradually.
You have that circle, you have that circle of influence.
And where you will find these people? You are not going to find these people in a bar. You're not going to find these people in a club. You're going to find these people in a library.
It can be a library. See, these are the people who might be a lot of time, at least in America. Many of these people, they do volunteering. So you have to find out where these guys are going. Exactly. They may not go to a bar, they may not go to a club, but they may be volunteering somewhere where you also try to go and see wherever they are spending time. You try to go there.
Exactly. So just think about it. Use your brain. Where can I find these people? Library, university, libraries, university libraries, the places where education is done. That's where you will find educated people. And seminars, webinars. If you go to a seminar by Bob Proctor, you will find all the CEOs out there.
He has this. He was having. I followed Bob Proctor 2-3. He was having that 3-day seminar. Now he has somebody to. He has partnered with some lady. He's partnered with a
Proctor Gallagher.
Gallagher
Institute. They have an institute.
They have a thing. They're partnered, and definitely. And one thing you mentioned about libraries, and what I find is, at least the people I associate with so far, they don't have any reading habits.
So what are you doing wrong? You are not going to library and finding friends out there.
No, I'm telling you, doctor, I'm not much of a library fan. Okay, let me say.
Now coming to your point.
Give me a second. Library fan, but a lot of time I buy these books. They are available very cheap, second hand, third hand from Amazon.
Yeah.
So I buy it because library you have to return it. If I have my own, I can underline it, I can comment it, I can read it again and again. So I don't have to return it. So I like to have my own books. And to be honest, my books collection, they are my only wealth. I have maybe this year itself, I have bought, I think, maybe 7 or 8 books from Amazon. Some of them are not, I don't use all the books all the time. But whenever I see a good book, it costs a little bit of few dollars, second and third hand, I buy it. Even the books I given you, they're second hand, they use.
Now coming to the point that you mentioned, giving value. If you are way too lesser than successful people, then how can you spend time with them? How can you spend time with them? Remember, Tony Robbins, before starting and becoming the giant Tony Robbins, he was like a tiny Tony Robbins. And Jim Rohn was already there. He was a giant. Tony Robbins
worked for him, worked for Jim Rohn.
Worked from him. He became his assistant. And he learned all the wisdom from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn, when he was like this, he found his mentor, Earl. I think you remember the story.
He was a pennies in his pocket.
So
and
I don't like these excuses people give that how can I find people who are better than me? Become their students. Spend time with them, serve them. As Dr. Sen said, give value to them. Like Jim Rohn was getting benefited by the value provided by Tony Robbins. How? Helping him in his lecture notes, helping him in his presentations, helping him with the mopping of the floor. So many things that he needed help with, Tony Robbins provided those services to him. I don't know if he did it unpaid, if he did it paid, I don't know. But even if you have to do unpaid, go ahead, do that, because you are going to get an opportunity to spend time with one of the legends in the field. And I did that too myself. Very few people know this, that I have volunteered and worked with the giants in the field. And I did not become this Dr. Hassaan Tohid overnight. I spent time with the giants in the field as their assistant.
Without getting paid.
Without getting paid.
Yeah. See, if you think, that's the thing problem I find. People say, if they're not paying, I won't go. That's that attitude we have, that, you don't get money, why you waste your time?
Short-term thinking. People have short-term thinking. Because when I was working unpaid for the giants in the field, I had this future in mind so many years ago that it's okay. This temporary hard work is okay. Because what I am seeing is the next 2 decades, the long-term success after 10 years, 15 years, what will happen? So I was looking at that success. What will happen eventually in a decade, 10 years down the line? And remember one thing, very, very important. If the future is clear in your mind, the price is easier to pay.
Price is what paying? Price is what paying?
The price of working without money, learning from an expert, spending time with him as an assistant, unpaid, this kind of hard work, discipline, persistence, determination, dedication, this hard work is the price that you're paying. It becomes easier if you can see your future clearly. So the first thing first is always to begin in the end in mind. Like Stephen Covey said, you gotta see your future so clearly that it becomes a reality. You can literally see it, feel it, touch it. If you can do that, price will be easier to pay. And then you will become this giant one day. You cannot become this giant overnight by just changing your title on LinkedIn, calling yourself CEO, without even getting a business license. You just change your title to CEO and you think you are becoming a businessman, you become a giant. No, you gotta go through the step-by-step process. One day you will be that giant, but it's not gonna happen overnight. And like Jim Rohn said, his mentor, Earl said, Mr. Jim Rohn, why don't you set a goal of making $1 million? He said, I didn't even have to ask him why. I knew why. But he said, no, let me tell you why. The money is not important. You can throw it away. What matters is the person you become while making that money. What that money, $1 million, will make out of you. Because if you lose that money, you can make it right away. So you develop a habit. If I have $1 million in your account, you lose it, you can make it back in a few months because you know how to do it. So money is not important. The self-esteem, the confidence, the personality matters, because money becomes a piece of cake for you. And you don't run after money then. You run after personal growth, knowledge, education.
Money will follow you.
Money will follow you. Money becomes your servant. Most people have money as their bosses.
No.
Most people have money as their boss. They run after money. But if you run after personal development, money will run after you. Money will become your servant. Use your servant to what a servant can do. That's all it is.
Can I add?
Yes, now I'm waiting for your comments.
Can I add? Several things, Doctor. First of all, we all know Tony Robbins today, right? But when Tony Robbins was not Tony Robbins, a couple of things. I think before he even started working for Jim Rohn, he used to, I have heard him say, and I have his audios, that he used to mop floors at 2 banks somewhere in Southern California.
Wow, really?
Middle of the night, he used to mop two banks, somewhere in Irvine or somewhere, and somewhere, two banks. He said that and nobody knew him. Second is, what he did is, there was a personal development shop somewhere in his vicinity, and he used to go there to buy. In those days, they had those books and cassettes. So he used to go there to get those personal development books and cassettes. That before he knew anything. And another thing, see, Tony Robbins, he also talks about a situation where on Thanksgiving, somebody came, his father had no money. And on Thanksgiving, somebody came to give them food. And a father accepted it with a lot of pain because he couldn't buy food, and somebody came and knocked on the door and gave them food. So that touched Tony Robbins, that I will not let this happen. I will not let this happen to me and my family. That touched him. And he talks about that, I said, we used to sweep floors and, used to buy those cassettes and personal development books and all from somewhere. So he was from the right beginning, he was there. Jim Rohn, people know Jim Rohn, but there is a time he talks that there was a knock on his door and little Girl Scout cook came to sell cookies and they wanted $2.
And he did not have $2.
He didn't have $2. He didn't have $2.
And he said, I don't want to live my life like that.
He said, no, I don't want to live, but I have to lie to a Girl Scout girl selling cookies. I didn't have to. He said, I want to buy it, but I don't have $2.
So he lied to her that we already have them. We already have the cookies. So he lied.
He lied to those girls. He said nothing. How low can you go that you are lying to a Girl Scout cooking that we already have a lot in the house? And that girl said thank you and left. In a personal life, I'm telling you a couple of years, I'm personal story now. Myself and my son, when he was younger, we loved bookshops. It was a physical book, Barnes and Nobles and Borders and all those bookshop. And there is some those used bookstores in Fremont, a second-hand bookstore, there are there. So, and there was a time when I was with him and he wanted to buy some science fiction book. And I had to refuse him because I didn't have money. It's not that expensive, maybe a couple of dollars. I said, no, I don't have money to buy the books. I still feel yesterday I was thinking, no, man, this was horrible. When you refuse your own son, it's not that he's asking for a $100 book, Another thing, yes, go ahead. I'll come back to you.
So the problem is, if you are in a situation where you don't have money, you are there because of either of two situations. That either you have not personally developed yourself enough that you have enough money. That's reason number one. And that's most of the time. Second is, you already have developed the personal development, but you invested all that money and the business you invested in went down. So for temporary time being, you are out of money. So that's important. You can be broke temporarily, but permanently you cannot be poor. Poor is a mindset that is permanent. Temporarily you can be broke, but it's a temporary state. So you can have either of these two states: temporary lack of money after personal development because you invested or business partner cheated and you lost money. But remember, if you have this personal development, if you have personal development and somebody steals your money, doesn't matter, you will make it back. This temporary time will go away because in the end, money does not matter. What matters is the person you become. Just strive to become the person, $1 million person, $2 million person, and the money will follow, and money will not be important anymore. It will be your servant because you now are more important than the money. That's what I'm talking about. Don't run after money, run after education, run after success, run after learning, run after skill development.
Service, giving service to
service.
Valuable to others, be as much as you cause it, be of value and add value to others' lives.
That's very important. And I would like to add this, that if you keep learning, keep educating yourself, but you have no plans to provide value to other people,
then you
money
don't
will
know,
not come.
nothing will come.
Money will not come, because money will come if you provide value to people's lives. And as much value you can provide to as many people, as much money you will achieve. Like Amazon serve billions of people, so they are now billionaires. Microsoft serve billions of people, they are now billionaires. So you gotta serve and provide value to billions of people if you want to become a billionaire. If you want to become a millionaire, provide value to millions of people. Now, another thing is that, as Jim Rohn said, that become more valuable. If you want to increase your income, become more valuable. Don't run after money, increase your value. How you increase your value? By learning more and provide the value to others that can change their lives. People who are making more money, they may be good fathers, they may be good pastors, they could be good religious people, they could be the highest stature in the eyes of God. But if they're not making enough money, that means they are not valuable to the marketplace. You're not valuable to the marketplace.
I've read Jim Rohn.
And that is the reality. So just be valuable to the marketplace. That means people are benefited from the value that you have provided to change their lives, the service you provide, and the money will follow. And one more thing, Earl Nightingale said that you are paid for three things: for the demand of what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty
of replacing you.
If you remember this formula of DAD, demand of what you do. So you think about, is there a demand? Is there a demand of what I'm doing? If there's no demand and you are doing some business out of it, you will not be able to succeed. So you got to see if there is a demand, your ability, are you able? Have you increased your value enough? Have you learned so much of skill that you are able to do it? And are you that good that this is difficult to replace you? If you have these three things, you create a business out of it, money will follow because you will provide value to enough people, because you have become valuable to the marketplace. Yes, please.
Dr. Tohid, that's beautiful. I'm happy for this conversation. And you are in fact stimulating me now, because this is something I used to follow some years back, but now I have not been keeping up with them.
Because you have not been spending time with me enough. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah, absolutely, Dr. T. You are busy.
Well, you can give me a phone call.
No, you are very busy now. That's the thing. And you have a family, your life has also changed. So one thing, what I was thinking, some random thoughts. Jim Rohn said that you need to change. For your situation to change, you need to change. And you just mentioned it. He says, we blame everything except ourselves. We blame the government, we blame the taxes, we blame the Democratic Party, we blame the Republican Party, we blame the weather, we blame the hot, cold, everything, and we don't blame ourselves. Because now he also said, supposing the weather changes, the president changes, the Republic comes to power, or the Democrat, how will it change your life? Will it make a big impact? No. If the taxes goes down from 30% to 20%, will your life change? No. Your life will change when you change. Okay. One thing more.
And everything else will change.
Then everything will follow, because we blame everything except ourselves. We never blame ourselves. We blame, the president is there, the vice president is there.
Dr. Sen, many of the people who watch me, and they knew me when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, they cannot even believe that this is the same person. You know why? Because I have changed myself 1000%. I have changed the way I talk. I have changed the way I walk. I have changed the way I live. I have changed the time I wake up, the time I go to sleep, my schedule. They cannot even believe I'm the same person, because I've totally changed myself and my whole life has changed. My whole life changed. So we got to change our schedule. We got to change the books we read. Instead of watching TV, we got to read books. Watching TV is the disaster. Wasting time on entertainment when you can learn by watching a documentary if you want to watch TV, or use TV like me. I play educational videos on YouTube on TV many a times. Yes.
Just I should write down what you're saying, then I can, because it's coming and going.
Let me give you.
Then I have.
Okay.
I have books.
Okay. Okay.
Everything I have. Only thing is, I got a copy just for the.
And I'm very positive that the listeners would love to see you as well on the board.
Oh, I'm not that good looking. Oh.
Maybe you come on the board.
And pen, please. One thing, couple of things. Just I said, Jim Rohn said what Jim Rohn said. Another thing, when Jim Rohn was being mentored by Earl Schoff, and you just mentioned there was a time in that they spent 5 years together. Before then, Jim Rohn was just not even getting by. He was just he says himself with a big mouth. He had his big mouth and big plans. He said to his family, but with pennies in his pocket. And he said, living in America, you are having that life, and 5 years. And
that means you have.
In America, living in America.
That means you have messed up.
You have messed up. After 6 years, you have messed up. And he says, first you accept it, say, declare that I am messed up. I live in America and I am a beggar. I live in America and I'm messed up. Put it just write it somewhere and put it on your fridge so that you can look at it every day. Accept it. That I live in America, but I'm messed up.
Acceptance.
One second, doctor.
Beautiful.
I live in America and I'm messed up. You accept it and write it and put it on your fridge so that, or on your bathroom mirror so that you can see it every day. Another thing he said when he was talking with Earl Schoff, okay, when it was Earl Schoff, that one day at breakfast, Earl Schoff, Mr. Rohn, can you show me a list of goals? He said that I don't have any goals. So people don't have any goals, I find now. They are just living day to day. They don't have, and they may have a goal, oh, I have to pay the mortgage, or I have to do this, I have to buy a car. That is the goal they have. They don't have any big time goals. That is the thing when I talk at this Toastmasters, people don't have any just short-term goals they have. Or 20 pounds I have to lose this year. That is the goal thing they have. They don't have any impacting goals, something which will, something I call goal, something I personally now call it a wow factor. When you achieve it, people will be shocked. Oh, how can this guy do this? Wow factor. They will be shocked. Oh, this guy cannot do this. And he cannot even speak proper English. How can he do it? But people will be shocked. That is my goal now. That is my goal. I don't want to lose weight. I want a goal which will wow for the wow factor. Another thing, they were so, and Jim Rohn asked him, if I have a list of goals, will it impact? Earl Schoff said drastically. Don't have any goals. Another thing, that becoming a millionaire, money is not important. But what surprised and shocked Jim Rohn was when Earl Schoff told him, what you will become that is more valuable than that millionaire becoming $1 million in your bank. Because, and Jim Rohn has told him that he became a millionaire and many times he lost it. He lost all the money. He got it back. So money was not, it was just money followed. He lost the $1 million and he got it back. I'm telling you, my sister is a very, brother, husband, they had a very successful doctors in Banaras. They have 2 nursing homes and they're very successful, highly successful. Okay. Now I was thinking, if they lose the hospital, if they lose the practice, if everything is burned down one day, they have reached a stage where they can just pick it up. That level of success they've had.
In a few months.
In a few months, they will see the hospital may burn down one day. That much of level they have achieved that they can pick it up in no time. No time. So that is the time where you don't go after money, money follows you around.
You know, it reminds me of the verse of the Quran,
Oh,
the verse of the Holy Quran.
mm-hmm.
The verse is, and something like this, that they ask, how can God give us a life again? When we were dead, we will be dead. We will be dead. There will be nothing left. How can he give us the life back again? And the God says, ask them, when you build something, is it difficult for the first time or the second time?
First time.
So if I can do it for the first time,
I can do it again. I can do it again and again and again.
so when you do it one time, you become that valuable. It becomes so easy for you to do it again.
Sure. Sure. It becomes very easy. Second time we become a million. Jim Rohn said that he lost the millions, but we became a millionaire again. I lost and I got it back. So these are the things we should listen. We should, people, one thing more, doctor, one thing just like you mentioned, watching TV. Personally, I think, especially in India, I saw, man, they spend so, but thing is, I don't blame them. People who are at a very low class level, low level, they don't have any other way of entertainment or spending their time other than watching TV. Although, they sell those talk shows, those reality shows, just people they spend time. Netflix. Netflix has been very successful in COVID. People are at home. What to do? Watch Netflix. Now Netflix is doing all the gaming software.
Oh, really?
Online gaming. Kids are sitting at home. What do they do? My son playing, what do you call it? Games. All the gaming software, they are making money. So they are making money at your cost. All this Netflix and all. Again, I have no objection to Netflix, but they are making more and more money by giving you free movies to watch and this and this and this. And people spend hours and any free time they spend on watching these reality shows. See, they're looking at other people's scandals, who is doing what, rich people's scandals, and they enjoy it instead of spending their time on personal development.
Many people ask how Netflix is actually making money when they are not actually providing value to the marketplace. Many people have this misconception. So I want to clear that actually they are providing value, because many people are so depressed and down, they want to have some entertainment temporarily. So that does provide value. The comedy movies they provide, the entertainment they provide, that is value. That's
now they're into gaming. They are getting into gaming.
Now
gaming.
Providing value to the children. Gaming can actually enhance their ability and thinking. Although too much of gaming can be bad. Too much of anything is bad. Too much of anything is bad. But now the point is, again, we come to one more point. The demand of what they do, their ability to do it, and the difficulty of replacing Netflix. That's why they are successful. If you can create these three, if you can find these three things, the demand of what you do. Is there a demand in the market for your new business, Dr. Sen? Demand of what you do. Is there a market demand? You do have to do the research, market research. That's number one. You can do surveys, you can see online, you can ask people, you can ask your relatives, you can just ask 20 people that I'm going to sell this. Do you think it will be sold? You have some kind of market idea. Your ability to do it, how you become able to do it by learning more and more skills, reading more, attending more seminars, and the difficulty of replacing you if you keep learning and keep growing, keep learning, keep learning, keep growing. Now, one more thing. Many people say, I have done all of these things. It doesn't change my life. You know why? First of all, eventually it will. That's my promise. Eventually it will. But main thing is, are you spending time with the right people most of the time? Where does your time go most of the time? If you are spending time with below average people most of the time, all of this is useless. This is not going to help you. Secondly, as Jim Rohn said, stand guard at the door of your mind every day. Every day. Are you controlling your thoughts? Are you controlling your mind? Because Ralph Waldo Emerson said, we become what we think about all day long. Earl Nightingale said, we become what we think about, right? But very few people know that the actual secret is we become what we think about all day long. So we got to think about our success, our philosophy, our goal all day long. And how can we do that? If we spend time with people who also talk like this, who also have missions and goals. If we are spending time with missionless, goalless people, we are not taking care of our mind. That's the biggest problem, that why some people have been watching and reading these things, but they have still not been able to achieve success because they have not been controlling their mind. Control your thoughts every single day. Yes, please.
That occurs to me because there was a time I used to follow Jim Rohn a lot. Jim Rohn, Les Brown, they are superstars. Les Brown.
And that was Les Brown who said that he used to go to a store only because the owner used to listen to Lead the Field.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yes. Yeah. Oh yes. No, is it Lead the Field or that other one? That because the Earl Nightingale had another one, Greatest Secret. Yes, the one, that LP.
So anyways, please. Yeah, you had some ideas.
1 second. And I was just thinking, see, one problem I find that most of people like us who are from South Asian countries, we honestly, Dr. Tohid, you are the only South Asian person, only I have seen who is into all these things. None of the people I know, they think, oh, well, do a job. Why would you do this? Go and do a job, you will get benefits, retirement. You are the only person who is into this personal development and leadership and this and this.
And
honestly,
that's unfortunate.
I'm not a second person.
That's unfortunate reality. And that's with everyone, not with South Asian people. With majority of people everywhere, every color, every caste, every creed, every religion, you will see the same percentage. Only 1% to 2% people know these things, and only 1 to 2% people talk about these
90%
things.
of the money.
And they have the 90% of the money.
95% of the money, right?
Yeah.
So only, see, a lot of the relatives, honestly, I'm telling you, all my relatives, there, go job. Honestly, I was, when I talked of all this in India, when I was homeless and I was in India for some time, and they took me to India, and I was talking all this. My relatives, they took me to consult a psychiatrist. What is he saying? Twice in Bangalore, from Banaras to Bangalore, I flew and I was taken to a psychiatrist. Why are you thinking all this?
Because you were talking about this.
Something I will talk about, because they say, okay, do your job and do your job well, and because you'll get retirement benefits and this and this and this. And so I'm telling you, I'm on being recorded, but this one, because nobody's aware of this. When I talk to the people, so one problem I find especially with me, only with me, is that my associations are not good, not into all this. So they don't drag me down, but I don't mingle, I don't talk with them about all this, because they are happy with the money they are making, and they're paying their bills, and
Just typical 9 to 5.
Typical 9 to 5, and taking a vacation once a year, and driving a car. I think, again, people, earlier used to think driving a Mercedes car is a success. Today I find that is not a success. No. Driving, I feel that, because you find tons of people driving Mercedes
When
cars.
I will have $1 billion,
Hmm?
let's say, although I don't plan to have $1 billion in my life, I don't plan to, but let's say my mind changes, because you can decide whatever you want.
Mhm.
If my mind changes and I go to hit 1 billion, I will still not buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. I'm not into cars, guys. I don't like cars.
No, I used to think of people because driving a Mercedes gave you some social status in your society, in your relatives. Oh, this guy drives a Mercedes.
Fake pride. It's a fake pride. Fake
now
arrogance.
It is a Tesla car. Now Mercedes is not a Tesla. If you have a Tesla, you are above the other people in your group, in your relatives and society. People look, oh, this guy drives a Tesla. One thing.
I remember the name now. Tesla guy, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. One more guy, doctor, is that the guy who came from Ireland and he became a huge steel company, steel magnate.
Andrew Carnegie.
Andrew Carnegie. He had no education. Andrew Carnegie, and he worked at those, pennies an hour. He worked, but he had a written down goal that he will earn certain amount, and when he retired, he sold his company to that Chase Bank, JP Morgan group. Those days, I think he sold it for $400 million. That's not that $400 million. It is there in Think and Grow Rich. I think it is there. It is there. $400 million. He sold it, JP Morgan group, and before he died, he said, "I will give it away." So that's why he has these libraries and universities and all this.
So that's why I'm requesting everyone to set a goal to make a lot of money, not because money is important, but because the person you become.
And you leave a legacy. You want to be remembered. See, we all want to be remembered after we go. It's not
but there is one problem in that philosophy. Many people say, when you are dead, will you care whether you
Somebody told me this. Somebody told me this. He's wealthy rich in the Bay Area, and he is dirty rich. He has 10 houses in the Bay Area. I told him this. I said, and this guy I'm talking of, you cannot get, he's filthy rich. He's an Indian. You cannot get $5 out of him. I'm telling you.
Small heart.
Huh?
Small heart.
I'm telling you, he has 10
I call
houses
these people people of
and
small,
India and Lake Tahoe and Yosemite and
stingy people.
And you cannot get $5. But he calculates even 5 cents. Even if he find 5 pennies here, he will pick it up. If he get a free food somewhere, he will go and get it. All the things that's how they become rich. But I have not been able to get. I know he won't give me even $5, even $2.
I don't believe in this kind of richness.
So I told him that if you die, he said, I don't care. I said, you want people to say something good or people to spit, that bugger is gone, that's good.
Let me tell you one thing, Dr. Sen. I learned this during my studies of NLP.
And the neuro-programming language, the neuro-programming.
Neuro-linguistic program.
NLP, neuro-linguistic.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins thing, right?
I'm certified.
Tony Robbins talks about that. He has this specialty, right?
I'm certified in NLP, and
wow.
I can tell you, in NLP, I learned this. When you give energy, you will get energy. It's like to every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. No power on earth can stop it from achieving that energy back. And E is equal to mc square. Energy becomes mass. Energy is converted into mass. So the energy you are spending will never be wasted. You will definitely develop some physical mass and you will see it in your life. That could be your house, your bank account, your status. That's a different story, but just letting you know. But now I'm talking about if you give energy, energy comes back to you, right? Money is energy. Very few people understand this. I learned this because of NLP. Money is energy. You give this energy, nature gives it back to you in multiplication. You cannot stop it. So some people who become businessmen and they become businessmen by saving every single penny and they don't want to give anything to anyone. They will always be that kind of person. They will never ever touch the financial independence, because financial independence comes when you give to others. Law of giving and receiving.
Reciprocation.
Law of reciprocation, yes. Reciprocity. Law of reciprocity. I think I wrote an essay on the law of reciprocity and I showed it to you. Did I?
No,
That was
I don't remember.
That was so many years ago, 6 years ago.
Mhm, mhm.
So reciprocity, the law of motion, the third law of motion, every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If you give money, it comes back to you in dividends. Bible says that. Quran says that. Seven folds.
Bible says it's shaken down, overflowing, something is in Bible.
Seven folds. You give 1 penny, 700 pennies will come to you. You give $1 equal to $700. So this has to happen. You may not immediately get 700, but you will definitely get something. And the remaining is you may survive some damages. Your health and other situations become so good that you are saving a lot of money. So financial success can come in different ways. But 1 is equal to 700. You may get all 700 back right away too. Maybe you get just 100 right back and 600 you protect your accident. Am I making sense?
Absolutely, doctor, but I had a question here.
Yeah.
For the money thing, I strongly believe that it will come back to you when you give it out. You said in the Quran, in Bible, it says 100-fold.
7 folds.
100-fold. They said different numbers.
Okay, I remember 7 folds.
They said, no, the Bible said that in Christianity, they said that from your money, 10% you must give. And one is the giving. Second is one is that they call it tithing. Tithing they call it 10%. One is when I give money, I don't typically they people expect me to give it to a church. I just give it to somebody on the street. I gave $20 to that lady who was begging. I don't know what's her faith. I don't think she was begging. I just give it. So I'm not giving to a mosque or a temple or a church. I'm just giving wherever my heart tells me to give.
Exactly.
And I'm not taking cash. I'm not taking that, okay, I've given 10%.
Beautiful.
I'm just giving. I have money in my pocket. I give it.
And I insist this to everyone, every student I meet, everyone I talk about finances, that please, instead of developing a habit of saving like a stingy person,
no, you need to save.
Save like a normal person. Don't be like a stingy person, and always give some percent of your money as a donation. Because if you give, money will come. You can never remain poor. Money comes to you when you become a giver. And the universal law is, if you want happiness, give happiness. If you want money, give money. If you want success, give success to others. If you want peace, mental peace, give mental peace to others. If you are giving mental stress to others, stress will come to you. So whatever you give comes back to you in dividends, and not in just equal amount, multiplication and dividends. So same the money, it comes back to you in dividends. And as you said, the Bible said 10%, and it's also mentioned in the book, Richest Man, richest man in Babylon, the 10% formula, that you give 10% donation, 10% savings,
Jim Rohn talks about it,
10% savings, and 10% investment.
Jim Rohn talks 70-10-10.
Yeah, so 10% investment, 10% saving, and 10% donation. And you live on 70%.
You live on survival.
If you survive on 70%, because of this 10%, and because of this 10%, you're going to create a fortune.
Well, he said 70-10-10, but he also said that at the early stage, the ratios may change. It cannot be, maybe it will be 90-3-3-3, something, the ratios can be changed when you don't have enough money. But you must have that donation habit.
Donation habit.
Right from the start.
Okay, and we are not denying the saving habit.
No, you're not saying.
We are not denying this.
No.
Saving habit is there, 10% saving.
So the ratios may change.
Yes.
Ratios may change. It can be 90-3-3-3. But you must give your money for some good cause. Investment.
10% investment, 10% saving, 10% donation.
What is said that don't use 100% of your money on eating.
And before saving and investment, the basic principle is pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first. Absolutely.
Pay yourself first.
People don't do this. focus on this. The pay yourself is what? Going for personal development. Personal development. What new book are
I
you
count
reading?
this as
What new
investment.
book? Huh?
I count this as investment. Buying a book is an
I
investment
have
in your
got
career.
Tons of books. You know, I have books are my only wealth. They are my only company. They are my only thing which keeps me
And
happy.
that's the wealth that we leave behind. The legacy is our library.
Jim Rohn said that.
So you have all the 4 books by.
I have the 4 books. I have given you 2. I have 2 more, you know, which I have not given you yet. But thing is, I'm reading this for the second time. This is okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, what were you saying? The last remarks, we can finish this up. Regarding the saving, donation, investment, that the 10% is investment, this can be education.
Personal development, you know, it can be,
Yeah.
you going to seminars, webinars, meetings.
Now,
learn
one thing,
something.
now many people say, oh, what, I have debt, I have huge debt, how do I get rid of it? This 10% investment, you can every month pay your debt.
Set up a debt cancellation.
Once that is done, then everything else is saving, and that goes to investment. Simple. If there's a lot of debt, then hold on donation a little bit. Reduce this percentage, reduce this percentage. But first thing first is get out of the debt.
Get out of the debt. You have to be debt free. That's the thing. Jim Rohn said the joy he got when he could work for himself. He didn't have to worry about money. The day he found that he can. He doesn't have to be anybody's servant. He doesn't have to work for anyone. He can work for himself. Then he develops the joy of working for yourself.
The money that comes to you because of your investment, because of your work, that is the financial independence. The money that you get from your business and your investment, that's financial independence.
Financial independence. He talks about
and the financial independence, the best definition of financial independence is look at your monthly expenses. If you have an extra income coming up equal to that amount, then you are financially independent.
He talks of, Jim Rohn talks about financial independence when nobody has a claim on your assets. See, to put it out, nobody can come after your house. Or the bank can, oh, give me the house. You know, nobody has any claim on your assets.
That's beautiful. Nobody has claim on your assets. And Jim Rohn also said in one of his videos, I cannot find it again, that video.
What that?
It was such a beautiful lesson. Never buy your second car before your second house.
I have it. You know, there was a time I have downloaded all the Jim Rohn stuff.
Can you share that with
Sure.
I need that lesson that has such a wisdom.
It's not there. There is a,
I can't find it anymore.
there is a 2-hour Jim Rohn session and there is a whole day session. So
I'll try to see that. I don't find it anymore.
2 hours.
That line, I cannot find it anywhere. That
There is
never
a
buy
Mexican
your
lady.
second car before your second house. Never buy your third car before your fourth house.
Yeah, I have it. I have it. Sure, I will give it.
Like, well, never buy your second car before your second house. Never buy your third car before your third house. So that's how you become financially independent. Don't run after cars. Make a property. That's what you become rich with. And remember that financial independence means that without your job, if you have income coming up from your resources equal to the amount of your expenses, then you're financially independent.
And nobody has any claim on your assets. Yes, so that's extremely good, doctor.
So hopefully this will change so many people's minds as well, because I knew we are going to have a wonderful conversation today that would be life-changing. Of course, it is a good revision for both of us, but it is also good for people who will listen to this.
Absolutely, I'm very happy I'm having it. Because a lot of this is, you know, I used to follow them a couple of years ago, and I wish we can have it more, maybe once a month or something, you know, once a month.
And there is so much more.
There is so much more.
We don't have time to go into details.
We can go into detail about that guy, not Les Brown, that Earl Nightingale, you know, and
Bob Proctor, Brian Tracy,
and I'm very happy.
Tony Robbins, and there are so many things to talk about. Health, So many things to talk about relationships. So many things to talk about spirituality. So many things to talk about career. Many people think that once they graduate, the career is over, but they forget that the day they get degree, that day is known as commencement. The life actually begins at your graduation. And the health, relationship, spirituality, career, and then your finances. We talked about finances a little bit today, but there is much more, and there's much more in career. Personal development can be way beyond that we can imagine. There's no limit. And then of course, the knowledge. We haven't talked about
Wisdom.
knowledge. We haven't talked about wisdom. How do you get wisdom? We haven't talked about communication. This is the most important part of personal development. I believe that if you have not worked on your communication skills, that means you're reading, writing, speaking, and listening. You haven't done anything.
Doctor, I'm very happy that we're having this talk. Career, because people, after they leave, I've seen tons of people, after they leave college, they don't pick up a book.
Unfortunately, majority.
They don't pick up a book, you know. So once they get out of college,
I saw so many
people have told me, they tell me, some people have told me that when I got out of college, I thought that I don't have to touch another book again in my life.
Wow.
I'm done. But now they have to, because right now the 21st century, that marketplace needs it, that you need to develop your career, work on your career. For personal development, that will also help in your career. And people complain, have told me.
And this is a huge percentage of people
This is
that thinks.
college, I thought I will never touch a book again.
And that's a sigh of relief for them.
It's a relief for them, absolutely.
Unfortunately, they don't understand that if you don't read and you don't continuously read, you don't educate yourself, you will be way behind. You cannot sustain. Forget about living a regular life. You cannot even sustain. Success is too far. I mean, success in becoming an entrepreneur, becoming financially independent is way too far. Forget about living.
No, they're happy with paying their bills.
You are thinking. I would say,
they want,
I would say, Dr. Sen, that many people think that they are happy. Many people think that you are thinking probably they are happy. They are not happy yet. A student once asked me a question in my live session that why should I work hard? Why can't I lay down on sofa and watch movie all day long and have parties and have fun? Why do I have to put myself in trouble of having all of these things when I can enjoy my life? This discipline is so painful. Why do I do that? When we eventually have to die, this person will die who has all of these things, and a failure will die who has no things, and he is just watching TV. A person who is watching TV will die, and this person with all the success will die. Then why do I waste time on this? That's a beautiful question, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So how do you answer it? Then I'll answer it. Do you have any idea how to answer this?
How you look at life, this how you look at your life. I have seen in my relatives, I have people with this type of attitude, and one thing is that, do you want to grow? Do you want to grow?
The person says, I have to die. Why do I grow?
Do you want to grow in every aspect? Do you want to leave a legacy, or you don't care for a legacy? How do you want to be remembered after you die? She
says, I'll die. I don't care how people will remember me.
Oh, it's a she. Okay. It's a she. Okay. So how you want to be remembered? And one thing I'll add here, a couple of times I find people, they leave it to their gods to take care of all this. And once or twice, some people have said, oh, God is not doing for me. I said that my God is becoming aged and he has too much workload. God is not doing anything for me. I said, God is busy. He's aged.
I answered this question in a way that God deliberately doesn't want to do miracles with you. He wants you to take charge of your life. He wants you to take responsibility of your life. And he says, you sow the seed, as Jim Rohn says, I will make a tree. But you have to sow the seed. If you don't sow the seed, God will not do wonders. If you sow the seed, God will do wonders. So you have to take action. Now, coming to this answer, before we move forward to the next topic and finish, that I answered this girl that there are two ways of living. Living the life of a lion and living the life of a hyena. A person who is wasting time is just wasting his self-worth and is reducing his self-esteem. Because deep down inside, you know that you are wasting your time. It's not the best use of your time. It's not the best use of your time. Deep down inside, you know this. So your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-image will go down. And this person will have self-esteem, self-confidence, and image. So the decision is yours. You want to live like a lion or you live like a hyena. And one of my friends, I asked him the same question and he answered it beautifully. He said, one of the biggest misconceptions people have is that if I watch TV, enjoy and have fun and have parties, I'll be happy. Happiness does not come this way. This ends in depression. Happiness is tied with hard work, with determination, dedication, discipline. The hard work, and when you achieve something out of your hard work, when you achieve your goal, you become happy, because happiness is progressive realization of a worthy goal. So if you become successful, you will be happy. And that's the definition of success.
No. Success
is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, worthy goal, as Earl Nightingale says. But happiness is also defined in the same way. I think Earl Nightingale also said the same thing. This is quoted by Brian Tracy.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember both definitions. So that's why I just remember very clearly, because I just heard in the car. Okay. So now one thing. So the choice is yours. If you do hard work and you achieve your goal, you will be happy. With this, no achievement, you will not be happy. You can get temporarily a kind of pleasure, but pleasure is not happiness. When the pleasure time is over, you need more pleasure. Then you watch another movie. Then you watch another movie. Now, when you have watched so many movies, you have watched all the movies in the world, all the great movies in the world, how can you motivate yourself? Now, let's say you wanted to visit and travel all around the world. You have visited all 196 countries. You have seen all the 7 wonders of the world. You have visited all 196 countries. How will you pleasure yourself now? Nothing is left.
You have had all the drinks and all the wine and all the beer and all the...
So the end is depression, sadness, grief. But here, personal development has no limit. You can grow as much you like and see how much I can grow. How many books can I read? Books will never end. How many courses I can take? How many skills I can learn? How much I can grow? There is no limit. So you will, for lifetime, until your death, you will keep yourself in a process of self-growth and self-development. And this will never finish. And every time you achieve something, you become happy. You achieve something, you become happy. Your happiness keeps increasing, and you die as a happy person and a successful person. Here you die as a person with regrets.
One thing, doctor.
Yes.
There is a story by a Russian author. And it says about a lawyer or something, you know, Tolstoy is a story, Leo Tolstoy, that end of the life, end of just when you're about to die, you don't want to have any regrets. Did you live fully? And at the end of the life, when you cannot do anything, you don't want to think whether your ladder was leaning against the wrong wall, the Tolstoy. And this is mentioned by that, you know, the Hawaiian thing, you know, the Hawaiian gentleman, I forget his name, Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer talks about this, you know, that all Tolstoy says, you want to, at that time, you cannot do anything, and you think, oh, my life is what, whether it was worthy of anything or it was just hanging under, leaning against the wrong wall. Another thing, you know, when you talk about this right side thing, I have in my relatives and my people I know, they have seen, because they don't have any goals. Unless you have goals, you are paying your bills, you are eating fish and meat and rice every day, Bengalis, you know. Every day, and you have just one daughter to get married.
Exactly.
So why you need that much? I know personally know somebody.
And that's
That one
why,
daughter is married. You don't have that. You go in the morning, buy
that's
fish
why
and
they
come,
get
cook and eat and watch TV.
that's why they get bored of waking up in the morning every day going to the office. They hate their job sometimes, many a times.
This gentleman I'm talking of, he was a for the railways, stenographer, taking short road,
Mhm.
And at that time, they started bringing TV, computers. And he hated going to those because now he is expected to learn how to use the computer. So he would not go. He would just miss a bus personally, purposely, because he was about to retire in a few years. So now he didn't want to pick up computer skills. And it was happened. They have no regret. They're not complaining. I don't have money to go to America. I don't have money to go to Dubai. They're not complaining. They're happy. I don't know whether deep down they're happy or not. I don't know. But there one daughter is there.
But there was one point. This lifestyle, they are claiming to be happy, but they are not. Usually happy are those who have goals. Usually happy are those who are giving, who have good relationships, who work on their relationships, who set goals for their relationships, who set goals for their life. They are usually happy. These people, they have low self-esteem. They could be happy possibly, but they are living a life with low self-esteem, low confidence, and they do have aspires. They have dreams to do so many things, but they cannot do it because they never focused on personal development.
I would use the word happy here. I would use the word contented.
In the end, if you are contented,
whatever
you have, then you are successful.
Content. I would say happy
in my definition.
And they are mingled around them. They are the people who are in the same level.
In my definition,
contented.
In my definition, if you
are
happy and content with whatever you have, you are successful. So you should be happy with whatever you have today, because eventually if you are happy and content and you are grateful, more will come to you. But right now in the present, you should be happy. But if you're not moving anywhere, you're not going in any direction, you cannot remain happy. And person who has a goal that his daughter has to get married and he's collecting money, and that's a goal. He's still living a goal-full life.
So you got her married, that's
a goal. I will not say it's not a goal. So at least he has a goal. But there are people who don't even have these goals, who are just living on autopilot. They're just living on autopilot and wasting time on entertainment, watching movies, not doing anything. Subconsciously, you're wasting your time. You know this subconsciously. So your self-esteem will be hurt.
Doctor, one thing about this watching movies, because now I saw that, because some of this reality shows, and those, all the scandals and family scandals and film star scandals and all those things, movie scandals and all. Because after some time, they get addictive. It addicts you. You cannot, because you saw something yesterday, today I want to know, what happens today? Okay. For the children, it is so addictive, and some of those games are, they play with guns online, and there is one player here, one is somewhere else. So there's a team thing going on. And I think it happened a few. I think I heard that in these kids, you have the gun violence in schools because these kids have seen and used a computer gun so many times to kill others. Now they don't feel anything to use the gun in a real life because they have done it in games. They killed others.
Well, that's a different topic and different story. But what I would say is we become what we think about all day long. If we are watching movies all day long, what do we become? We become whatever is happening in one movie, then in second movie, then in third movie. So we are just inserting unnecessary information in our mind that we were not supposed to insert. And same with the reality TV shows. We're just putting information that is useless, that is not giving us any value, that is not going to give any value to anyone.
And we are making somebody else rich.
I say this to...
We are making Netflix rich. We are making this for film producers rich.
I say this to people I know who are so much into sports. I tell them that watching sports for me is like that I wanna watch someone making money.
They're making money.
So it's like going to somebody's office and see, oh, I want to see him work. So if you love a sportsman, you want to watch his sports game. You're just like a person who would say that I would go to an office and watch this engineer works, how he works. Wow, what a person. You're wasting time. Why you cannot be on the other side? Why you want to be on the spectator side? Why can't you be on that side? That people
Others
come
watch
to,
you.
Others watch you.
Now
Just
others-
change the mindset. I changed my mindset. Instead of becoming a spectator, I became the star,
the doer.
the celebrity, the star. Consider yourself as a celebrity and star, and the whole thing will change. You will be on this side of the screen. Automatically, things will change. We don't know how it happens, but it happens. So it's all about the mindset. 90% of success is mindset. And this is the most difficult thing to achieve.
Most difficult thing to control.
Most difficult thing to control as well. And that's why you need people of the same thought process to be with you continuously. Otherwise, the negativity around you and some negative people, relatives, negative friends will take you away from this mission. You will be one of those then.
You'll be one of those. Absolutely.
Very easily. Because this is difficult to achieve.
Very difficult. This is very easy.
This is very
It doesn't take any effort. See,
Exactly.
automatically, if you don't go on this personal development growth thing, by default, you get there.
exactly.
Default, you don't have to do anything.
Exactly.
A student who doesn't study, by default will fail. He doesn't have to fail.
And it's the same thing as we said.
Default.
Body in motion tends to remain in motion. So either you are growing or you're declining.
Or
There is no neutral.
Either you grow or
There
you
is no
perish.
neutral column here.
There is no neutral
Unfortunately.
column. Either you are you going up or you are perishing. You grow
Yeah.
or you
This is a fail group. This is a successful people group. Both will die eventually. But the decision is yours whether you want to die like a lion, a happy, successful, content lion, or whether you want to die like a hyena with no self-esteem, no self-confidence, no self-image, no personality, no achievements, no goal setting, and you never serve the community. You never
always
left.
hiding, always in a hiding state.
Yes.
Hiding state.
And you never left anything for the community. These people, why are these the people who always leave something for the community? A legacy behind themselves.
See, you have to, I was telling a member in my club some days ago about you leaving a footprint on the planet. Everybody has come and will go. They will eat 3 times a day and they will die. But, Jim, I think this guy, Les Brown said, these people, he calls them, they are already dead. Only thing it's not been announced.
Do that kind of bow. As I think a famous poet said, that it leaves a mark on the floor. It leaves the mark on the ground.
Mhm.
People don't do that kind of bow to the Almighty. So you do that kind of bow that leaves a mark on the floor even after you are gone. So do something for the community, for people. Leave a legacy that you are remembered after you are gone. Because if people are benefited after you are gone from something that you started, you will still be benefited
Even after you're gone.
after you're gone.
Mhm.
And when the time comes of that last day of judgment, you're going to go to the best place because you are the fittest. And this is the natural selection.
Doctor, one thing, again, I don't know whether how much time you can give, but maybe it's for next time. I was talking to some of the team members at the club in my Toastmasters that typically, what is the why behind your goal? And take it to the next level. You say, oh, I want $1 million. I want to be a millionaire. That's a good goal. But why you want
not
a
a
millionaire?
powerful goal,
Huh?
unless your why is strong.
Why do you want? You want $2 million so that You just want to, it can be a good thing that I want to travel the world, I want to create a, what is the why behind your goal and how strong is that why? Now, when you answer that, what is the why behind that response? Why? And ultimately, you, after 2 or 3 whys, you come to realize whether your goal is going to work or not. Because that guy I was talking about, sometime a few years back, he told me, Anand, I have become a millionaire. Now I want to become a multimillionaire. But so what is the why? What is the, see, whatever you're doing, what's the why? It's not that you want to become a millionaire.
If we increase our why for a bigger purpose.
And that is the, I'm going to give a talk. Your why is your propeller. The validity of your why is something which will push you towards your goal.
Exactly.
Genuineness of your why.
They have no why. The failures, usually, they don't have whys.
They don't have, you have a goal, they don't really have why.
These people, they don't just have one why.
They can have many whys.
They have many whys. One why is, I want to be personally better, personal development,
Sure.
Financially independent. I want to take care of my family. That's a big why.
Of course.
I don't want to be embarrassed in front of my kids.
I mean, absolutely.
That's a big why.
I told you, my son wanted to buy a book. I didn't have money to buy.
So that's a big why. That
Jim
motivated
talks
you
about
to
not having
become.
$2. Jim talks about not having $2.
And that moment motivated you that now you are in a situation that you can never be in that situation again.
I don't want to be in the situation because when I go, my son, he asked me for a $5, $6 book and whatever. It hurts me now. Even now it hurts me.
And religiously bring a why, because when the God who is infinite has given you infinite energy, infinite life, achievement limits, there's no limit. So why are you wasting your time? Why not do it? Why not show to that God that the God did not make a mistake by sending you to this world? And that God, your creator, is proud of you when he meets with you. That I did not make a mistake. Well done, my boy.
Sure.
Like you say, well done.
Dr. Bob Proctor says that we humans are the highest form of divine creation.
There's no question about it. It's a verse of the Quran. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. That we have undoubtedly created man in the best of his form. Among all creatures, man is the best of all creatures. And we got to prove it to that Almighty that we really are the best. So if we die without achievement, wasting time, we have no achievements, we have not done anything for the community, we haven't proven that we are the best. We are just like an animal who wakes up in the morning, eats and sleeps. Eats, sleeps, reproduces, dies. So we probably would expect to go into the next life because of natural selection to wake up like an animal.
If we don't do anything.
If we don't do anything. Like there is another verse, I remember that some people will wake up blind. On the day of judgment, on the last day, when we all will stand up, some people will be blind. They will ask God, God, we had eyes. Why did you make us blind? We had eyes in the world. On that earth, when we were living, we had eyes. Why did you wake up us blind? God will reply, because you did not use these eyes. You did not use these eyes the way they were supposed to be used. Where are your eyes? Why did not you do the purpose that you were sent for? Your purpose was a bigger mission, and the biggest mission is humanity, mankind, and his creature. What have you done for this creature? If you couldn't take care of your finances, how can you take care of these people? You, for the rest of your life, you just work 9 to 5, taking care of your life and making both ends meet. And that too with difficulty. How can you take care of humanity? This was the bigger mission. How can you achieve this bigger mission if you cannot get rid of this 9 to 5? If you are just living a life that is just hardly making you enough money, or you are not saving anything in the end, and you haven't achieved anything. This all achievement and this money you will need to serve humanity and mankind. Yes.
Now, one thing you mentioned about 9 to 5, I think because everybody cannot get away from the 9 to 5, but there is a book on how you use the other 6 to 8 time.
Don't take me wrong. 9 to 5 is not bad.
No.
9 to 5 is good. What I'm saying is,
you can plan and work on the other.
I'm saying some people just
utilize your other hours.
some people just think that we are here to work 9 to 5 and then eat and then die. No, we are not here to just work 9 to 5. How do you utilize those 9 to 5 and the hours after it? Are you working towards becoming the best of yourself so that you can help others becoming, or help others become best of themselves? That's the goal. That's the target. Become the best you can so that you can help others become the best they can. If you are not becoming the best you can, how can you help these people becoming the best they can?
So there's enough free time, even if you sleep 8 hours. So you have enough time, when you say, okay, we eat for 1 hour, 2 hours, still you can get 3-4 hours.
There is no excuse.
There's no excuse.
Let me tell you, I was working not 9 to 5, but my work started 8. The job I quit before full-time coming to the business. I used to be there before 8. We used to attend a meeting, a huddle meeting at 8 o'clock, and then not until 5, but I used to be there until 6, because the philosophy is always be there before time and leave after everyone else leaves. So I was the last one to leave the office. So I was actually there for 10 hours. And even in the lunch hour, I was not doing lunch. I was working harder and harder and harder. I did not waste time. So I was working 10 hours a day, waking up 7 or 6:30 in the morning and be there at 8 before the huddle meeting, and coming back home 6:30 in the evening. 6:30 in the evening. Now I had only few hours left because I had to sleep early. 10:30 or 11, I had to sleep because I have to wake up at 6, right? So I have like 3-4 hours left, and I was running a business during those 3-4 hours every day. Every single day I was working on that business. How did I do it? And my wife doesn't complain that I did not give time to the family. I have given enough time to the family. I have gone out to all the vacations. I have spent time with my family, and I have enjoyed my life. And yes, I did sacrifice initially, because when I was building this business, I did have lesser time, but now I have a lot of time because I can work from home all day long now. I am not answerable to anyone. But there was no excuse that I don't have time. I had to find time, and the weekend was free. I had to find time, and eventually, slowly, gradually, a day came when my business income became equal to the salary I was making.
Then you quit.
And that day I quit. It was a difficult decision. Still, it was a difficult decision. You will get so many doubts. Is it a time to quit? Should I quit? What if
tomorrow something happens?
What if my business doesn't give me the same amount of money next month? So I waited 4 months. When I noticed that for 4 months continuously, my business has given me the exact amount of money, I said that means highly likely if I quit this job and I give full time to my business, I think I can make equal to this money. And I quit it with a condition to the company. I said, are you open if I plan to change my mind and I come back? They said, yes.
Okay.
We never want to lose you. We are always open for you. If you change your mind in a month, 2 months, 3 months, come back. So this gave me a mental peace. Are you getting my point?
Absolutely.
This gave me mental peace. Now, the next month, when I quit the job, next month, I made double. Surprisingly, rather than equal to my income, I made double because I was giving full time. So I said, wow, does that mean I will never have to go back to the job again? Does that really mean I will never have to go back to the job again? And it really happened. Every month, the income kept increasing, increasing, increasing. And here I am today, working full time for my business. I don't work for anyone. And you have seen my journey from the beginning. You are one of those people who have seen my journey from the first job, when we worked together. From that place, you have seen my hard work and my journey, and until here. And if you remember, I used to tell you that one day I will have it. I will have my own company. You are a witness and an evidence, so everyone knows that I'm not exaggerating.
No.
And if you remember, in that company, when you and I used to work together, we used to talk about these same things on the board. In our office, you remember that, in the room,
Sure.
the research room we had.
Mhm.
So I used to draw all these, and we used to plan these financial things and all these goals. And I used to tell you that one day I will have my own company. Very emotional talk. Reminds so many.
I love this talk. It's something that, and I'm telling you again, you are the only person, South Asian, and you said it's everywhere, who is into all this. Whenever I say something like this to anybody, they just stare at me, or they don't know what I'm talking about.
And Dr. Sen, I think I totally agree with you. We should probably do this session every month or every 2 months.
Because now when I'm talking with you, I get a lot of topics, like, we can talk about a detailed thing about
So many
Tony
things.
Robbins, six, what's this? He has 6 human motivations, 6 levels of 6 ways, and there are 4 + 2, and the last 2 is most important, where we humans need. 4 is you survive the 4, and that's why you start having, you take it easy, and the last 2 is easy, is the typical one, where you need to grow, and you need to grow and contribute. Last 2, 5 and 6, Tony Robbins. That's a big topic for.
We will do that in one of the meetings.
Absolutely.
And probably next month or somewhere around September, we can start with how to start a business from scratch.
Absolutely.
So that people who are starting a journey like we did 8 years ago, 10 years ago, everyone else can have the same future in next 8, 10 years.
Absolutely.
So we'll start from beginning, how to start a business without money. How to start business without an investor, without taking loans from the bank. How do you do that? Is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible. I have done it.
Tons of free information available. Tons. Only thing you have to give time and search.
No, the biggest misconception, Dr. Sen, is that to make money, you need money. To start a business, you need money. No, you don't need money. Just whatever resources you have, you just need those resources. Your energy, your knowledge, your experience, the wisdom. Whatever you have, you invested, and the money will come.
And doctor, one thing more is, I fully agree with you. One thing more is my how I look at it is, what's the why you want to do the business. So if the why is strong enough, or the why behind the why, then beautiful. You will find a way. Huh?
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Why?
Why behind the why?
Yeah,
that's
why behind the why. Why behind the why? Why behind the why? I told one girl, I was in my Toastmasters, I gave this talk on the self-actualization, and it just took her. She just loved it. And I sent out a message a few days back, what is the goal and what is the why behind the why? And she responded, because I joined Toastmasters because I want to improve my English. Why? So that I can communicate better. Why? So that I can reach out to more people. Why? Because I feel that collectively we can make big impact in the world.
Beautiful. That was actual
why. Why?
That was her actual.
She's a Chinese. She has some Chinese accent.
And that is the actual why that was hiding, that you extracted. And remember Dean Graziosi, Dean Graziosi in his book, Millionaire Mindset.
Dean Graziosi?
Yeah, I don't know, Millionaire Mindset or $1 Million Mindset. I forgot the name of the book, but I have it at my home. In that book, he mentions 7 whys, the rule of 7 whys.
Okay.
And he says, if you ask the first why, that's superficial. Ask another why. Why? 7th why is actually the real answer, and this is the answer people will start to cry.
Why?
In his coaching experience, the seventh why people start to cry.
He's now collaborating with Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, yes. Green Graziosi, he's a giant of real estate now. He started when nobody knew him, and I got his book when nobody knew him.
He has his book, 7 Whys?
Not 7 Whys. In that book, Millionaire Mindset.
Millionaire Mindset.
I'll send you the picture. I forgot the name of the book.
I'll get it from
Yeah, so Millionaire Mindset, and in that book, he mentions the philosophy of 7 Whys, that if you are a coach, you ask these questions, 7 Whys. People will tell you their whys, and they will actually find out that they had a why they never knew before. And when they extract that why, sometimes they do cry. They have some pain hiding inside that they are not even realizing right now. That's what he talked about.
And that is a genuine, as I said, I'm going to give a talk on, see, your why is the propeller. Otherwise, people, they oh, I just want freedom. No, I don't want freedom. Oh, I just want to stay at home. Oh, no. What's the why? What's the why? Another thing, doctor, I would just like to add here. I love listening to eulogies. When people die, somebody talks about that, and they say good things.
I don't know that field. I would love to know more.
Yeah, it is, when especially happens in these Christian areas that somebody dies, there's buried and they have a meeting, a sort of a prayer meeting. So people who knew that person well, they come onto the stage and they say good things. He said this, he did this.
Okay. Now I understand. Okay.
Then I was listening once and I said, okay, what will, I think this guy, Stephen Covey, he talks in his 7 Habits that what do people will talk about you? What do you want them to talk about you?
On your funeral.
On your funeral.
Yes.
What do you want? Well, it can be relative, colleague, friend, neighbor, your boss, your school teacher. What do you want them to talk about? And most of these theology, Christian, they have a course on eulogy. EULOG. I'm not sure the spell.
I would love to read more.
Yeah. They have a course on eulogy where the students are asked to write your own eulogy. That's the course. I think I may be a little bit off track, but and then they're told, okay,
no, that's not off track. That's not off track. You are talking very sense. That this should be everyone's goal.
What is the practice?
Think about how do you, or I read in one of the books, or I saw or heard somebody saying that on your tombstone, what do you want to be written?
Jim Rohn.
On your tombstone, how do you want people to describe you? A compassionate, a person with empathy.
He said something else.
Lovely person, successful person, a person who helped everyone, helpful. So whatever, you can just fill it out. It will become your life mission.
Jim Rohn said, I have that recording. There was a time when I used to download a lot of this Jim Rohn, all this stuff. I have Jim Rohn stuff.
So we call this eulogy.
I'm not sure how my English is not good.
Anyways,
no, 1 second. Jim Rohn, he said on this, people asked him what do you want on your tombstone to be written. He said, I thought and I said, here lies a mad person who touched someone, then another one, then another one.
Oh, yes. Touched another. I remember him saying that.
Oh, else, yeah. Here lies.
Then another. Then another.
Then something he said like this. Beautiful,
Yes.
Beautiful.
So true.
I have this recording.
So imagine, Dr. Sam, if we had been doing this session like we are doing today for past 4 or 5 years, every month, we would have been way higher than we are today.
Absolutely, doctor. Absolutely. That's why, I always think about you, but thing is now you are more busy than the last time I saw you, or the last time we met. I think we are meeting after 10 years, maybe 7, 8 years.
No. We met at my apartment when I used to be at the apartment.
Oh, 5, 6 years ago. That was what, 5 years ago?
When we had the sales training.
4 years ago,
Yeah.
we had pizza. I know.
Yeah. We had pizza.
Mhm.
We had Jing with us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was that which year? 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
I remember exactly.
4 years ago.
No, not too far. 3 years ago. 3 years, everything turned around.
Your daughter was
Few months old.
6 months old, I
Yes.
think.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm very happy, doctor. I'm happy to have this. The only thing is, I'm not able to. Once I leave this place, then I go back to my reality.
No, just keep a notebook.
Yeah,
keep
that's
writing
why
your
yesterday
thoughts.
you showed that, right?
I always keep it. Look at this. This is 2021.
No, yesterday you showed me. You showed on YouTube.
Oh, I did. Okay. Yeah, I showed it
yesterday
to
I
everyone,
showed
and I
it.
always show it. Look at this.
This is
2021.
2021.
Every year I have a notebook, and if you remember, since you know me from day one, I had it for every year. I have my life recorded every single day. I write it down, my daily goals, my daily tasks, my daily aspirations, my daily messages. Actually, now for past 3 years, I've been doing 2 journals side by side. This has all the wisdom, and second one is the planner. And I cannot live without those things.
Okay, you're
So,
using a planner now.
yeah, planner is in the bag. I'll show you.
You need a planner because with your business you need a planner.
Yeah. So the reason I'm saying this thing to you is that this keeps me focused. Otherwise, nobody can remain focused. If you don't have a journal, you don't have a daily planner, you cannot remain focused because of so much of negativity around.
Sure.
So much of negativity in your own relatives. People are so.
They are the worst.
I have no comments about it.
They are the worst.
Okay,
They are the
but I want to
worst.
tell you something that
They are the worst.
that there's some people are so behind you. You have become so ahead that when you hear them talking, you are so astonished at what level of conversation they are having. That, oh, I bought a big car. Oh, I got a big house. Oh, look at my TV. I got a big TV. I got 75-inch.
Coming to America, that's the success. That when you drive a Mercedes.
Yeah, and I got a 75.
If you come to America and stay in a 2-bedroom house, apartment, that is not success.
And oh, I got a 75-inch TV. For God's sake, why don't you have a 7x5 of a library of books? I would have respected you more if you have no TV and a library instead. Or just one small TV, but a big library.
I'm telling you, doctor, my books, I don't have place to keep my books. They are lying on the floor, and they are my
Biggest
only
asset.
companion. They are my only friend. They are my only companion. I have a talk on Wednesday on failing forward. I use those books to prepare. And just 2 days ago, somebody told me, yesterday or 2 days ago, the books are lying. They're not just lying on the floor, just like a heap of garbage, and this was place. And somebody told me that, do you read all the books? No, I have not read all the books. But when I give a talk or a presentation, I use the books to get material. And then I go to the internet also, because those books help me. And of course, there will be some books, there are some books which I bought it just because I felt, oh, I might need it. You just bought it. So, I have not even opened it. I have 2 or 3 books on TED Talk presentation. TED presentation. I have one is that Gallo guy, one Gallo.
The famous TED book.
Huh?
The famous TED book. The famous book on TED Talk, which is by the founder of TED.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Anderson. Anderson. He's the owner of TED.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I have that also. The thing is, many of the books I don't even, because they're there. Okay, I need them one day. And just this week, 2 or 3 books are supposed to come. So I'm buying. I'm just using some money to buy TED Talks. And then one thing I did, I started wearing a good watch. Because I never wore a watch. I must look. It gives me some. It's a bit of success.
So everyone should remember this: that the books are a must. TV is not a must. Forget about investing on TV. Forget about investing on TVs. Forget about investing on movies and DVDs. Instead, buy books and create a library. Because as Jim Rohn said, why do you think every house beyond 200,000 in those days comes with a library?
They have the built-in library.
Why? Because rich people read. Successful people read.
You know, one thing I'll tell, I think we need to end this, about Jim Rohn. And he said he went somewhere in California to give a presentation.
Mhm.
He was to present a talk there. And he arrived Friday late afternoon and he was to talk. And he was surprised at the cars outside because they were expensive cars.
And he had a bad car.
No, he didn't have a bad car because
I remember the incident. He had to park way behind.
that's Tony Robbins.
That's Tony Robbins.
No, Tony Robbins had a broken down BMW.
I remember it was Jim Rohn who said this similar story that he had to park his car somewhere so that nobody can see.
Oh.
And then he came and attended that lecture, and people asked him, "Where's your car?" He said, "Somebody dropped me. Somebody dropped me off."
No. Jim Rohn said because he saw all the Ferraris and this expensive car, and because he said because it is the people who are already successful, they have come to attend so that they can learn how to buy the next Ferrari. It's not that people are uneducated who are attending. All of them are already rich, but they have come. How do they grow their? Well, I'm surprised that he says that I'm surprised that people are. It's not that they are common men, the common people. They're just with expensive car, and they come there to learn how to buy the next Ferrari.
This good feeling with what we get while talking about these things, this feeling is very important for success. That's why we need each other.
Thank you, Doctor.
And that's why we need a mastermind group as well. Because when you have this
Even I
feeling,
need that. Even I
we
need
all
a
need it.
mastermind.
We all need
Even
it.
I
Some-
need, because that's-
Nobody
even
can
I-
be successful alone.
Even I need a mastermind.
We all need it. Nobody can be successful
Because the
alone. We
people I
all
hang
need
out
it.
with, they just.
Because you need this feeling rather than negative feeling. When you have good feeling, your mind works better and you produce results, your business flourishes. So I think that's enough for today's session.
Thank you, Doctor.
For the recorded ones, and hopefully people will find it valuable.
Will you edit it or you just? Is it live?
No,
Oh,
no, it's not live, it's recorded, but thank you for attending, and we will see which part can be edited, but
Oh,
I
you
don't think, I
technically
think
edit it?
everything is so original from heart, from your
But
heart and
typically
my heart.
edit it? No, because it's very long. See, people,
Yeah.
that's the thing, when you put such a long thing,
So
people
let's-
get
let's-
bored,
let's
Maybe
finish
you can
it.
Put it in parts, the
Yeah.
people get bored,
No, they will not get bored, we will produce
Parts.
parts, 10 minutes each.
Okay.